Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday the 5th of November 2020. So stocks and bonds surged to record post-election gains, and this is the bit here that I kept saying all day yesterday as the market moved higher. This is inconceivable. Here you have a situation where there is no winner of the or clear winner of the US election, and now it's all becoming legal. There is uncertainty, and yet the market managed to just move to the upside. And as it says here, frazzled traders turn to booze, tear up the script, and just buy everything. A bottle of bourbon was the only way I could make it through the night. I know the feeling, actually, on a number of levels. But it was absolute insanity. I mean, you can never have an opinion, except they're going to keep buying this market and bring it back to the highs. It's as simple as that. So let me highlight a couple of things for you from yesterday. The market moving lower initially in the futures market when it opened at 7 a.m. down to the low where we see the buying, because we know this is the case. This is the level where they will try and bring back the market, and yesterday this is precisely what they did. It was a bit volatile to begin with, and I just run this back a bit. And I had a look at putting some fibs on the downside after this move happened in the futures market. And again, the market obviously finding support at the previous day's low. And then I'll switch the fibs later on in the day. But you'll see prices opening. They trade up to the S1 and they move lower. And this is the key here, this bar here. Notice the volume is as more or less 99% of the previous bar, where we had selling at the S1 straight down to the BRN, and then this volume here was more or less equal, indicating that whatever the selling was in this market had just been bought back. And you can see then from this point forward the market starts to move to the upside and continues above the 20 bar moving average, and every time it closes below the 5 bar moving average, within a couple of bars it's brought back, as you can see here. They traded down to the 20 bar moving average. There's not a fantastic increase in volume. In fact, most traders had left, and it was left to the market makers to just keep moving prices to the upside, as you can see. As we drove through critical levels, we see a bit of volume there. As we head to the 200 MA, we get a bit of resistance, but then the market trades up to the DP level, where, again, you'd expect the market to have to drive through it, and that's precisely what we're seeing here. So prices were just relentless. They just kept moving to the upside, no matter how they corrected. As you can see here, you've got this huge volume here on the sell side, and that was it. It was just profit taking. The market reverses and moves up to the previous day's close, before we see the end of the morning session, and just a massive move on the upside with no pullbacks whatsoever. And this continued through the mid-morning as prices traded down to the 200 MA. They sold through the DP level, but found support at the 200 MA. And once again, prices then traded, finding support at the DP level. You can see how they bounced off here and continued on through, waiting for the ADP non-farm payrolls. Prices managed to move up 100 points from the DP level there, which you can see. So again, once proving the case and trading up to the other pivot point there, where you see some selling coming into the market after some moving prices to the upside and driving to the close. As it waits for the ADP numbers, prices come back. And I don't even know what the ADP figures were, to be honest. It was just pointless knowing about what the news was going to be, because the prices just kept moving to the upside. And they had these moments where we had these profit-taking points, as I've just highlighted, and the selling is just absorbed. And then prices move back to the high of the previous day. So as we head towards the afternoon session, we can see that prices have come off the high and are finding a bit of support. However, as soon as the market opens, prices move lower. And when I saw this price bar here at the close, I just grabbed a quick trade to the downside, quick 38 points. Prices show the selling, and then we see further selling, and I want to highlight something here. So when the market put in this buying here, which we can see, then it was time to exit the trade. But also notice this, it's exactly the same as the morning session. You can see that we had prices reversing near the 200 MA with that sort of volume and price action that we saw in the morning session there. And that was effectively the low for the afternoon session. And now, as I'm just going to move this back, I've got fibs on the upside to see where prices are likely to go. And to think that we could actually head to this sort of level was inconceivable at the beginning of the session, but yet again, prices started to move higher. We did have the high impact news, which I'm going to come to in just a moment. We had a long which wasn't filled, and we're too close to the news now for the short side, and given what was happening in the morning session, it was a case of stand aside just in case. So we had the ISM PMI out, and this came out as I fast forward through this, and we'll come back to it in just a moment, or should do. Maybe I've gone through it already. There you go. Yeah, so here the news came out, and it was I'll wind it back. You can see it was bad news, but that didn't make any difference. The market then just continued to do what it had done all morning, trading up to, this is the high of the morning session that I actually marked up on the chart just to see how prices got through here, and they just continued to the upside. There was a bit of profit taking, again pull back to the 20 bar moving average, where the market picked this up again and then continued to the upside. And then as we headed into the the close of the market at 4 p.m, you tend to get a bit of a sell-off as we head towards the 4:30 cash close, and then there was a resumption of prices moving to the upside. Again, you can see that we're heading to that 12414, although if I recall we didn't get to it, but we had a good look at it as the market traded up after hours following the Dow, and they're just sitting on the BRN, and then finally succumbing to a bit of profit taking. So let's have a look, see where we are in the madness overnight. Oh, and look, even though we have still more uncertainty, the market is heading to this 12,414 and the 20 bar moving average. Yesterday you can see how the market traded with the huge volume, not seen this for a while, as prices were pushed back to the upside. So given what we're seeing there, it's likely that prices are going to attempt to move higher. However, one thing that I have noticed over the years is when you get a really strong day like yesterday, even though it should have been a strong day to the downside, the second day you can get a reversal of that price action. So how it plays out will just be determined by the price action. At the moment, we're sitting at the high of the previous day. We've had a look through this, and prices have traded back. So again, we'll see how the market opens. But let's just have a quick compression of prices, see where we are in the bigger picture. You can see we're on the north side of things here, with the market above the 200 and the DP at the high, and then you've got the R1, R2 to the upside there. And of course, through the close, would see a test of the DP level as well, the daily pivot. So it's going to be an interesting day, and of course there's a chance that we could get news released sporadically on those states that are actually still counting as well. But yeah, bizarre day yesterday to say the least. Let's have a look at the Dow. This too moving higher, huge volume yesterday. Again, you've got that same sort of price action again that I've spoken about this morning in the first part of the morning session and afternoon session, where you get that reversal with the very high volume. And you can see how this happened at the 200 MA as well. So again, another potential new signal that has come to light whilst looking at these charts. Let's have a look through the rest of the news. We've got FOMC meeting tonight. It is actually a meeting in a storm. Apparently they're not going to talk about any monetary policy stuff because of the election results currently not confirmed. Implied volatility dropping drastically yesterday down to 24.02 from a high recently of 32.6. And we're back to amber, as you just saw in the Dow chart. Just to refresh your memory there, we hadn't closed above the 20-bar moving average yesterday, but we're currently trading above it overnight. And again, this reflected in the amber there. So even though we've come back below the 20-bar moving average in the implied volatility, this just means that we have the potential to move to the upside at the moment, but we still need to see prices close above the 20-bar moving average. Today we have a plethora of news. We've got a lot from the UK this morning, all the way through this morning. I'm not going to read each individual one out, just highlight those interesting ones. We've got monetary policy from the BOC. And we've got Bailey speaking at, well, it's tentative. It depends whether he's coming out of lockup or not. He's going to be speaking at some point, and so are some economic forecasts as well. I don't know whether the criminal's out to do this or not. And then we've got the weekly unemployment claims, again showing an increase, or forecasting an increase. We've got Powell out at 7 p.m, but don't expect a lot from this. And of course, now said that, we'll probably see a rate cut and the market move higher. But I very much doubt that, as all eyes are going to be focused on what's going to happen with the US election. And of course, today, all traders will be back at home, as I have to say this with some reluctance myself, that England begins second lockdown. So this is going to have a major impact on the economy going forward as well. Which these morons down in London cannot see. And what's the irony in all of this, I have to say, is those that were on the Remain side of the Brexit vote, protesting vehemently about how it was going to destroy the economy and lorries would be backed up all the way from Kent to London, seem to be incredibly quiet about the devastation that is being wrought on the economy at the moment. With regards to all of this, I just find it quite ironic that there's not more protests about how the economy is being destroyed. But then I suppose that the Remain side was predominantly a left thing. I'm not getting into politics here, by the way, but that was the perception. I'm apolitical myself. I prefer economics and protecting myself for the future of whoever's in power, frankly. But there just seems to be this sort of, I don't know, submission to the virus and sod the economy. Bizarre. Really is bizarre. But there you go. Well, again, I suppose that given the World Economic Forum's totalitarian, communist, Marxist approach to all of this is probably appealing in some sense, especially the UBI, which is the Universal Basic Income, which would be where this is all heading, of course, furlough being the test run of this. Okay, that will do it for today. If there is anything to report, I will let you know. But otherwise, let's see what happens today as we enter the twilight zone once more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.